How is what? You guys just surprise me sometimes. How do my streams like this get likes before the stream has even started? I haven't even done anything yet. But let me make sure that everything is working for everyone. Thumbs up if my volume is fine. I want to make sure that everything looks fine as far as the stream is concerned, so that we don't have any mishaps. But if everything is fine for everyone, I need to double check. Thumbs up. Thank you, Digby. Thank you. All right. So it's 12. It's been a minute since I actually did a reaction to a chapter on a Friday instead of a Sunday. So let's go ahead and see if they've refreshed the page. New chapter coming in an hour. Now it says that. Now I don't know if the chapter is going to be coming out at like the usual 12 o'clock as it usually does on a Friday, or if it's going to be coming out in like a couple of minutes or so. Like I'm double checking. Because I know for a fact that on Sundays, chapters release at 12 o'clock. But I don't know if that still applies to Friday chapters. Should they be released that way? So I'm just going to keep refreshing the page until I see this chapter up. But in the meantime, how's everyone been? Y'all been doing all right? Hope you guys have been staying safe out there. This pandemic, you got it? Okay, I'm on the Viz site. That's where I read it from. I prefer to read it from there because, one, I got a subscription there and it would be a waste to, not use it. But also because I don't want to read it a little bit too early, what have you. And plus, I said I was only going to read exclusively from the Viz site when I'm reading these chapters. So, yeah. Kevin Spencer and Psycho. What's good? What's going on, you guys? It's good to see you. I'm refreshing the page on the Viz site. Yeah, there it is. We got it. All right, the new chapter is up, everyone. Let's get started. Chapter 276. In the last chapter of My Hero Academia, Shigaraki catches up to Bakugo and Midoriya and gets so close to breaking down Midoriya and Bakugo. But before that happens, Gran Torino jumps in and knocks them out of the way. Hello again, Kitty Bree. It's good to see you again. But before Shigaraki can touch Midoriya and Bakugo and, decay them to death, Gran Torino jumps in and tells Midoriya that he's not powerful enough to fight that thing yet. And it gets to the point where Ryukyu comes in to try and, go toe-to-toe with Shigaraki. And it looks like he's about to, touch her wing and then start to decay her. But it doesn't work because Aizawa is there. And he uses his quirk to erase Shigaraki's decaying quirk so that he can't use it. So now we got all these heroes that are around. We got Aizawa. We got Gran Torino. We got Ryukyu. We got so many people that are there right now ready to take down Shigaraki. But we don't know what's about to happen right now. So let's see what's about to happen. So right here in the first panel, we got a helicopter flying in. There's like devastation in the background. And we got a news chopper coming in as well. We're coming to you live from the skies above Jakku City. Are you seeing this? A good third of the city has been reduced to rubble. Directly below us, rescue teams made of heroes and law enforcement officials are helping citizens evacuate. What an incredible effort! It brings to mind the terrible scene we witnessed in Deka City last year. The smoke and dust are obscuring our view, so we can't quite tell who or what these heroes are battling. And then there's an exclamation. Hosu City, Kamino Ward. The large-scale terrorist attacks that began last year don't seem to be letting up. And it shows Shigaraki just flying through the air right now. And there's All Might with Eri. Yes, we're witnessing history repeat itself in Jakku City today. What is going on? But yeah, so All Might is with Eri, and they're both watching all this happen. What is going on in Japan right now? Where is our country headed? And in these panels, it shows Midoriya's mom. It shows Fuyumi, It shows Natsu. It shows Bakugo's mom, not Bakugo's mom. Well, yeah, it shows Bakugo's mom, but it also shows Shoto's mom as well. So we got Midoriya's mom, we got Fuyumi, we got Natsu, Shoto's mom, Bakugo's mom, and then it cuts to Tartarus, and it shows All For One just sitting down smiling. He knew this was going to happen. All For One knew that something like this was going to happen. Chapter 276, you cheated. And then it has a Rocklock there along with Aizawa. And then it has Gran Torino pulling both Bakugo and Midoriya away from the area. Endeavor honing in on the area. And it has Shigaraki just standing there. The way he looks as a villain, good lord, this is absolutely magnificent. Kill every person you see. Oh. It may seem so simple what he just said, but the only person who's on the other side of that receiver is Gigantomachia. And Shigaraki just told him to kill every person he sees. It is going to be utter devastation. Deka City ain't got nothing on this. Endeavor! And then Endeavor's honing in. Kido! Need a lift? I got one ready. Now go! Endeavor's sidekick, Kido. Quirk, Traject. Can alter the course of bodies in motion. Okay, so he has like bandages wrapped around him, and he makes these bandages turn into a loop. And if the person goes through that loop, it alters their trajectory. Ooh, that's kind of cool when you think about it. He can alter the trajectory of bullets if it's shot at him and just make it go someplace else. Not in the way of, using like gravity or telekinesis, but the fact that he can just cause a giant big loop to just change the direction of things. That's actually pretty useful. And if Endeavor needs to change his direction real quick, he can just fly through one of Kido's loops, and there you go, which is exactly what Endeavor does. And he shoots straight into the air right where Shigaraki is. Shigaraki can't use his quirks! This is Ryukyu in her dragon form saying this. What if we touch the ground again in the meantime? Hang on, I'm slipping! It would have been best to look after him after... Okay. It would have been best to look at him after hiding, but what if he touched the ground again in the meantime? Hang on, I'm slipping. Thanks, Manuel. Oh, yo! They found a workaround for Aizawa's quirk! Manuel! He's constantly applying water to the eyes of Aizawa so he doesn't have to blink at all. Thanks, Manuel. And the water's just going into his eyes. Applying too much would flood your eyes and make you blink anyway, so we have to keep in sync. Yo, this hero team combination to make sure that this one person stays eyes open the entire time without ever blinking. This works really well. Too well. And we know what happens when the heroes are having a good string of luck. The villains come in and combo breaker. They just sever it. This is only page 6 and 7. But it shows, here we are with Endeavor. Sorry, I'm getting really hyped with this chapter right now. You've killed far too many. Yikes. And then Endeavor just engulfs Shigaraki in like this explosion. But it kind of makes it look like Shigaraki, I don't know, dodges or if he gets knocked out of it. Oh. When he shoved himself out, what the heck happened? His arm is all big and muscular. That hurt. It's not a quirk. That's just his strength. The jump from back then, too. A swing of the arm lets him move around in midair. Yo! Whatever Daruma did to Shigaraki's body, it's not quirk related. As far as his strength is concerned, him jumping from where he was with enough force to break the ground underneath him and actually like land everywhere, That's not quirk related. That's his body. And the way he got out of Endeavor's burst, he just used the strength of his arm to literally shove the. He is so strong now that he can actually adjust himself in the air, just like All Might. But that's pure strength. His strength. That's not quirk related. Whatever he did, whatever Dharma did to Shigaraki's body, it went deeper than quirks. Yo! Shigaraki is far from powerless. He may not have access to his quirks, but he's got inhuman strength, and they can't erase that. It's not a quirk. That's just his strength. The jump from back then, too. A swing of the arm lets him move around in midair. That power. It's just like Endeavor's thinking the same thing that I was. It's just like All Might's. It's not quite on par with All Might, sadly. Excessive remodeling of his body would have overburdened his brain. All right, so Dharma's saying that it's not on par with All Might, but the function is still the same. My erasure hasn't been undone. And as they're walking, Aizawa's leg gets grabbed. Does that mean he's like a perfected Nomu? That's pretty much it. Shigaraki is the perfect Nomu. Monster! And then as it shows Shigaraki dodging by Endeavor, Ryukyu is closing in, and then there's just like this massive explosion. Boom! In this one panel. And then Gran Torino finally lets go of Bakugo and Midoriya. Should be good here. But Aizawa-sensei's down there. Yeah, he's sealing off Shigaraki's quirks. We're still pretty darn close, Gramps. Oh, Gran Torino actually knows about One for All. Yeah, Toshinori told me. And this is as far as we go, Bakugo. That thing's capable of moving quicker than any of us expected. There's only so many heroes who can give chase, and since our comms are jammed, luring him too far away would actually give Shigaraki free rein. You already got that thing away from the people and into Eraser's line of sight. That's a job well done. So it is showing the devastation that Shigaraki has created thus far, and it is a giant, far larger area than I originally thought, because it gives you like a top-down view. It shows all the buildings. There's so much devastation. Heroes forming perimeter on the outside, and then it has the rest of the city intact on the outer edges. Hospital ruins in the middle, including the devastated area from Shigaraki's decay quirk. Midoriya and Bakugo are off kind of like near the perimeter, at least. Now I'm heading back to help keep Eraser mobile. Are you saying we should just hide? Word is, All for One's quirk was transferred to Shigaraki. Oh, so they know, according to the DJ hero. Okay, so they even know about this as well. Hold on. Give me a quick sec, everyone. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Just loving on family. So, let me go back to where I was. Good thing I didn't read any farther down. So, now I'm heading back to help keep Eraser mobile. Are you saying we should just hide? Word is, All for One's quirk was transferred to Shigaraki. So, the heroes know that All for One's quirk is in Shigaraki. It's not a mystery to them. They know, according to the DJ hero. If he manages to steal One for All from you, well, what's worse than the worst case scenario? But wait, does Gran Torino not know that One for All cannot be stolen? It can't be physically taken. You can't just use All for One to take that quirk. That's the reason why All for One desires it so much. If he manages to steal One for All from you, well, what's worse than the worst case scenario? It's not like he can just steal it. It is the quirk itself has more psychological ties than it does physical ties. You have to willingly give it to someone in order for it to be passed on to them. They can't just rip it and take it from you. Otherwise, All for One would have done that already. And there wouldn't be currently 9 successors to one power. We're up against just one guy. If this many of us can't get the job done, then what is the point of this hero-saturated society? Oh! All these heroes are moving, and out of the dust, Bakugo, Midoriya, and Gran Torino look on in shock as numerous high-end Nomu come out of the dust. Far different from the ones that were fighting Mirko earlier. They got one that has like a wolf's head. They got one that looks like the Juggernaut as far as, head, neck meets shoulders. They got one where its jaw is literally its head. They got one with a long neck, one with spikes all in front of it, like, what is it, A from Bleach, that weird one. And then they got one with wings and a woolly, furry Nomu. Good lord, where did he have all these high-ends? Nomu, how'd they survive? That really hurt. Hey, number one, how did it go again? Was it this arm that's raised? Too bad I got the jump on you. Yo, Shigaraki just took down Endeavor and then is standing on his body in like a disrespectful, defiant way of holding his fist up in the air, the way he did the high-end Nomu earlier and the way All Might did when he beat All for One. Bruh! Get off! I can control decay now, I couldn't save every last Nomu capsule, but I fine-tuned it enough to spare some of them. So when he destroyed the lab, he had enough control. He can control decay, but he couldn't save every single capsule. But he was able to fine-tune it where it spared a good chunk of still high-end Nomu. It's far more dangerous than we all realize. So these guys won't just wake up and go nuts. Of course not. They're activated by an electrical pulse. Just tap this device once and they'll awaken, but they're programmed to obey orders from specific people. The perfect servants for the Villain King, I say. Shigaraki, the Villain King. Have we ever heard a villain have that title? The Villain King? Undead King, yes, but not Villain King. Leave it to my dear friend's apprentice to keep my precious high-ends alive, and he must have created an induced current with those radio waves. Clever boy. But these little ones haven't even made it to the testing phase. They can't think for themselves, but still, they're quite strong. Oh, this is going to be bad. Why don't we call them near high-ends? And they all start going after all these heroes. Oh, okay. In the background of this panel, one of the heroes actually gets impaled by one of the Nomu. Like, there was this Nomu that had, like, bone spikes going down its body. One of these heroes got impaled by it in the back. You can kind of make it out, but it's still dark when you realize what it is. Dang it. 2 of them are heading right for Eraser. You 2 keep hitting. The worst case. And then there's a drop. Got your eyes on me, huh? Well then, who's watching you? You're in the way, Eraserhead. And Shigaraki just goes straight for Aizawa. No, can't afford to die. If I die, there'll be no one left to hold him back. I still have to watch over them until they graduate and become heroes. Yo, Aizawa. I still need to. No, you're in the way. And then Gran Torino comes right towards Rocklock, and Gran Torino dive right towards Shigaraki. Then there's like this surge of lightning all of a sudden. Oh, it's Midoriya! Yo! Midoriya came in. Here's the thing. Gran Torino is mad fast. He's one of the fastest combatants in the world, along with Hawks. And the fact that Midoriya was able to get from the position he was at to being able to be the one to tackle Shigaraki before Gran Torino got there, I don't know what level of One For All Midoriya is using, but he managed to grab onto Shigaraki and slam him into the ground. Sensei, this time, it's our turn. Yo, Midoriya grabs Shigaraki, and right behind Midoriya is Bakugo. Sensei, this time, it's our turn. Next chapter hits after the 4th of July. Yo, Midoriya, you so disobedient, but at the same time, we love you. They are not about to let their sensei die in this moment. Woo! This is a pretty good chapter. I love it. This was good. All right, so time to talk about the chapter overall. I liked it. I did. One thing that kind of scared me was the fact that all this time I thought Shigaraki was using like some muscle-defining quirk to, launch himself here and there. But no, that's just his pure strength. I don't know if that's the strength he gained. No. Dharma completely confirmed that if he put too much, if he conditioned Shigaraki's muscles too much, then it would have destroyed his brain and like reduce his functionality of it. Very good chapter, although nobody died, which I thought might happen. I'm glad nobody died because no one's prepared for that yet. But then again, who is prepared whenever they see a character die in a manga? But still, also good to see you, Grant. Glad you're here. This chapter was really good. Really good. Gran Torino pretty much confirming that the heroes already know that Shigaraki has All For One's past transferred quirk, his original quirk. The fact that Shigaraki has control over his decay and he used it to he actually has enough control over it where he kept some vats of near high-end Nomu, which Dharma is calling these because the current ones that are fighting the heroes right now, they're not high-end Nomu because they haven't even gone through the testing phases. So that they're still juvenile Nomu, and they're called near high ends, but they're still quite strong. And we see one impale a hero in the background, but it's small enough where you kind of don't notice it if you don't really pay attention. And they start contending with all the heroes that are, trying to back up the rest of the heroes like Ryukyu and Endeavor and Gran Torino and Rocklock. And is it Rocklock or is it Lockrock? Gotta go. Hey, Kitty, it was great having you here. I hope you enjoyed the whole reaction. But Shigaraki, he pretty much pinned. It doesn't look like he beat Endeavor, but it looks like he pinned him to the ground. But at the same time, you could say that he beat Endeavor because Endeavor's not using his flames anymore, and Shigaraki's standing over him in a defiant, twisted version of how All Might stood over All For One and how Endeavor stood over the first high-end Nomu. And he's saying, like, you held your arm up like this, right? Or am I doing it wrong, Mr. Number One? And that's going on, and he says, like, get off. And then Gran Torino had Midoriya and Bakugo off to the side, like far away from where the main fight was happening. And he goes back to Aizawa in order to keep Aizawa's gaze trained on Shigaraki, who is using the help of the hero manual to keep his eyes watered so that he doesn't have to blink in order to keep Shigaraki from using his quirks. But since Shigaraki has access to pretty much superhuman strength, and that's pretty much all he has going for him, and he used that to pretty much beat down on Endeavor. So take note of the fact that Shigaraki just used brute strength, no healing, no quirks, just straight up physical brute strength to beat up the current #1 hero. Now picture that, and he combines it with his other quirks, like say more muscle amplification quirks that pretty sure he has access to because he does have All For One's entire repertoire. But before all that, after all that happens, Shigaraki makes a beeline to Aizawa because Aizawa is the only thing keeping Shigaraki from going all out. Now, sure, he has massive superhuman strength, but he doesn't have access to all his quirks, and he goes for Aizawa. And of course, before even Rocklock can get there, Aizawa can defend himself because he says, "I'm not about to die. I can't die. I can't die." Even after all this, hold on. Let me go back to what he says. If I die, there'll be no one left to hold him back. I still have to watch over them until they graduate and become heroes. And he actually takes out his weapon that he uses. I still need to know you're in the way. And it cuts to a panel where it shows all of his students just, being there. And before Rocklock, before Gran Torino can touch him, there's like a stroke of lightning, which we know is attributed to Midoriya using his full cowling, and he's already on Shigaraki before Gran Torino or anyone else can get to Shigaraki. And note that Shigaraki is using his superhuman strength to move at superhuman speeds. So the fact that Midoriya was able to not only intercept him but also shove him back shows you that this is now going to be a straight up battle between two superhuman individuals. The fight where Shigaraki versus Bakugo and Midoriya are about to begin, because in the next panel afterwards, it shows Midoriya in full cowling grabbing onto Shigaraki and Bakugo jumping up behind Midoriya, where we're about to get Midoriya and Bakugo versus Shigaraki in the next chapter. Ooh, I can't wait. Will this be the moment where they finally fully and respectively acknowledge one another and actually tag team and work together? Because the first time they did that, they tried to fight All Might and they almost got beaten. Here, they've grown in power. I would like to think that they've grown in maturity as well, and they're going against possibly the most powerful individual in the world of My Hero as of right now. Sure, you have Gigantomachia, but at the same time, Shigaraki has the quirk of the world's most powerful supervillain. And not only that, let's not gloss over the fact that earlier in the chapter, Shigaraki speaks into his little communication device, which we all know is linked to Gigantomachia, and he just says, "Kill everyone, every person that you see." So even though we could be getting Bakugo and Midoriya versus Shigaraki. Sorry, misplaced that. Bakugo and Midoriya versus Shigaraki. If they manage to beat him, they still got Gigantomachia on his way. Giganto is coming. So even if they were able to detain Shigaraki and keep him from using his quirks, they still got his #1 super fan on his way as well. I don't know what's going to happen after this. If I go to the next page, there's nothing else. The next chapter drops July 5th. It's a lot to process. And that also means that we are not getting a chapter next week. So we're actually going on break for My Hero. We're getting a chapter of One Piece next week, so that's good to know. But this chapter was good. I liked it. And You're out. All right, Kevin. I'm about to end this here because I don't want to carry this any longer than I need to. I just wanted to say my piece. But overall, this is. Hold on. Hold on. Sorry, just some other stuff going on. But let me just go ahead and give my review real quick so that way I can, bring this to a close. My lip reading skills aren't good enough to figure out anything you say while muted. You gotta be an expert to figure out what I'm saying. But let me go ahead and give my review. This chapter was really good. I don't know if we're going to see Bakugo and Midoriya versus Shigaraki in the next chapter, or if we're going to see what's going on with the other heroes down at the mansion in the mountains. We don't know if we're going to see any of that, but we're going on break next week, so that's probably going to open up a whole can of worms of different theories about what we could expect. Pretty sure more people are going to say, oh, this character is going to die in this next chapter, as it seems to be the more common thing to say, like, who do you think is going to die in the next chapter? I don't know. I never think that far ahead. I would have been mad if I looked at this opened this bottle up and didn't take a single sip and then just put the cap back on. But you guys let me know what you thought of this in the, you know, comments down below. And well, with that being said, you're late. Yeah, man, you're kind of late a little bit. I'm already about to end it right now. Sorry if you couldn't make it in time, but you'll be able to see my reaction here in a moment once it's all pushed out there. So thought this was a very good chapter. If I were to rate it, I would give it maybe about a good, like about an 8, maybe 8.5 out of 10. Really good. I really liked it, but it wasn't hype enough to get me out of my chair. And that's the criteria for it to be 9s and 10s. But I did really enjoy it. So it was a great chapter. Good thing to set things up for the next chapter coming up. So with that being said, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. So have a fantastic day. And once again, as always, later, peoples.